students, Naveed sir here, but this time for accounting. Right, today we are going to discuss correction of errors and suspense accounts. Right, so you all are familiar with the double entries, right? You all should be familiar with the double entries, right? I'll remind you the principles of double entries first, right? Let's revise ourselves. Assets, right? The first principle. Second, let's go with capital, right? Liabilities, the responsibilities, the amounts we owe to the outside parties, the third parties. Fourth one, income. Fifth one, expenses. Right? These are the 5 principles. Right? If you all know these 5 principles and if you all know how to name the accounts, then correction of errors will be easy. You all should be familiar with preparing a trial balance as well. Right? If the trial balance goes wrong, then there is an error. Right? Even though the trial balance is balancing, right, you can identify some errors. So there are 2 types of errors which we have to look into. Right? Errors which affects the trial balance and the errors which does not. Right? So first of all, I will start from the errors which does not affect the trial balance. That means the trial balance will balance. The trial balance will balance, but an error could occur, or 2 or 3 errors could occur. Right? Let's talk about the principles of these double entries. Keep this in your mind. Just two things. Right? When there is an increment, it will be debited. Just 2 components. What are the 2 components? Right? Assets and expenses, children. Right? Assets, when increases, the particular asset account should be debited, and assets, when it decreases, the particular asset account should be credited. You all know that. Expenses, same. Expenses, it's the same. Now, if you all know these things, right, then the other 3 things are simple. It's simple, right? Over here, if these, either one of these, with whatever, right? If capital increases or liabilities increases or income increases, that particular account should be credited. And if it is reducing, then debit. So you all can write this to make it simple. If assets or expenses increases, it should be debited. If the capital, liabilities or income is increasing, then it should be credited. That's how it should be done. Right? Now we are going to talk about the errors which is not shown by looking at a trial balance. That means the trial balance is balanced, but there are errors. You all know. You all have to refer the book. I am going to teach you all 3 easy steps to complete rectification of errors or correcting errors and suspense account exercises. I don't think these 3 steps I don't think that whether you all have learned this or not, but these are the easiest 3 steps to do any sum in correction of errors. First of all, you all have to read about compensating errors, errors of original entry, errors of principal, errors of omission. There are 6 types of errors, compensating errors. So read about those things. I'll show you the steps. Right? The first step, keep this in your mind. State what has to be done, and box it. What does it mean? I'll teach you. Right? Number 2, state what has happened. What has happened. Right? You all can write this. Then the final step. Compare 1 and 2. 1 and 2, which is given above. The two steps. Right? 1 and 2. And circle it. That's how you do correction of errors exercises. Circle it. Right? So write these 3 steps, and then I will discuss this according to a simple error. Right? Let's go for an error. Right? Even though the trial balances. An example, this is an error, children. Purchase of a motor car. Right? Has been debited to motor car expenses. Now, purchasing a motor car means, right, principle of assets, and they have debited to motor car expenses. It's an expenditure. No, it goes beyond the principles of accounting, right? It should be debited and credited according to the principles of accounting. But there is a mistake has been done. Because, right, motor car, the value, right, I haven't stated the value, sorry. Let's assume $10,000, right? The value, children, the value has to be on this account, but they have debited to this account. So either way, the trial balance will balance. The trial balance will balance because this 10,000 is included, but it is not according to the principles of accounting. Let's go. Step 1. As I told you all, state what should happen. What's the original entry? As per the accounting a double entry system, we know, right, if an asset increases, right, there is an increment in asset and reduction in asset, right? They are paying by cash. So cash reduces, right? Cash reduces means cash book should be credited, and another asset, motor car, comes in. Motor car should be debited. This is what should happen, right? What should happen? Cash credited 10,000, motor car debited 10,000. So I have to write the accounts, the names of these accounts. So motor car 10,000 and cash 10,000 over here, right? But just to make it simple, now the first step is clear. First step is state what should happen, right? The correct thing. The second step, state what has happened. Second step, what has happened? They are talking about cash. That means we have to assume cash is correct. Cash has been credited, but the mistake is they have debited this motor car, debited this to motor car expenses. So it's a mistake, right? It's a mistake, right? Now we are going to compare these 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3, and what should happen is we have to, right? We have to debit 10,000 to motor car account, and to remove this debit entry we have to credit 10,000 to motor car expenses. Now by looking at the circles, right, only the circles, you all can write the double entries after correcting the errors. Motor car account debit $10,000, motor car expenses credit 10,000. This is how you this is how you complete a correction of errors exercise. Just follow these 3 steps, right? Just follow, right? At these 3 steps, there are plenty of exercises to be done along with assignments. Then according to that, there are 6 types of errors, right? There are 6 types of errors where the trial balance will balance, right? But there would be errors. But errors of omission, we don't have to follow these 3 steps when it comes to errors of omission, right? If it is totally being omitted from the books, what you have to do is just write the double entries. That's it. Just write the double entries. So this is the easiest way of explaining, but keep this in your mind. This is just the part 1, right? This particular correction of errors chapter will be divided into 2 chapters, right? According to myself, right? I will divide it into 2 chapters. First, correction of errors without suspense account. Second, with suspense account. So the next video will be correction of errors with the suspense account. So initially, errors which does not affect the trial balance, right? You don't need a suspense account. But if there are errors which affects the suspense account, which affects the trial balance, then you need suspense accounts as well, which we will discuss in the next lesson of accounting. So children, I have given you all plenty of exercises. I know you all will do it and you all will send it to me, right? Follow these 3 steps. These are the easiest way, right? If you want me to explain it again and again, yes, I can do it all, right? Read about the errors of omission, errors of commission, errors of original entry principles, right? Those things, and update yourself. Definitely in the next video it's gonna be far more complicated than you all have ever thought. Thank you children, have a nice day, stay safe.